Hi, George here. The show you're about to watch was produced before the pandemic, which explains why no one's wearing a mask. Now, a lot of the places I visit are still in the process of reopening, but once things are safe and back to normal, I highly encourage you to check them out and support them. So with that said, enjoy the show. My name is George Igo, and throughout my entire life, my travel ambitions have always outweighed my bank account. But with some research, planning, and a little creativity, I find the best things to do in a city, all without spending more than $100. This is George Goes Everywhere. Hello and welcome to George Goes Everywhere, the show where we explore a city and see as much of it as we can, all without spending more than $100. I'm in rainy Minneapolis today and I have 6 categories I want to hit. Food, art, drink, people, nature, and one that's art, kinda, but we'll get to that. I was originally planning on playing mini golf on the rooftop of this museum that overlooks downtown, but as you can see, we kinda got rained out. It's supposed to clear up a bit later. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Either way, nothing I can't handle. Let's explore the Twin Cities on a budget. There's a signature burger here in Minneapolis called the Juicy Lucy. It's a burger where the patty itself is stuffed with cheese. But as awesome as that sounds, that's actually not the most interesting part about it, because apparently there's a feud as to which place actually invented the Juicy Lucy. Now I'll be going to both places and comparing their burgers to see which one is better, and first we have the 5-8 Club. Here they spell juicy correctly with an I. The other place, Matt's Bar, spells juicy J-U-C-Y and says that any place that spells it correctly is a shameless ripoff. In a region known for being nice, this is much more contentious than I expected. All right, Juicy Lucy number 1. Oh, yeah. The cheese like surrounds every bit of the food. When you bite it, it just kind of explodes over everything in your mouth. This is really good. I don't know how it tastes when you spell it without an I, but with the I is pretty good. Juicy Lucy number 1 is in the books, and that's gonna be pretty tough to beat. I still have the other one to eat at Matt's Bar, but that's for later. In the meantime, this is an interesting one. I found a local artist who's been described as the Willy Wonka of Twin Cities art. He's got a studio here called the House of Balls, so named because a lot of his artwork involves bowling balls that he's carved. Why, what did you think it meant? This place is insanely awesome. All the art here is a combination of artistic ability and technical skill. And I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a cricket in the background, and it's not a cricket. They're playing the sound of a cricket chirping, and it's just kind of funny. I don't know if you can hear it though. And unlike most artists, Mr. Lucky actually encourages you to touch his art. Oh yeah, that was good. There's the main room in here, then there's also another room that's connected by a dark room door, so I'm gonna go check that out now. Tight squeeze in here. Whoa. He's not kidding when he calls this place the House of Balls. But outside here, it is just littered with bowling balls. They are everywhere. The bowling balls that are ground down to create faces and stuff, that's my personal favorite. I mean, I can't even begin to think of how he does that. But regarding the name, I found a quote from Mr. Lucky that says, "We all possess the creative impulse and we owe ourselves the balls to express it." So maybe it is a double entendre. There are a ton of bars in Minneapolis, but one place that caught my eye is a boozy arts and crafts place called Upstairs Circus. And one of their options is actually to make your own leather beer koozie. And so once I saw that, I was sold. So let's get our booze on while getting our booze holder on. I already messed up. I spilled a big glob of ink all over my leather. It's okay, I can recover from this. What is it Bob Ross says? We don't make mistakes, we just have happy accidents. That was upside down. I'm trying to put a GGE in here for George Goes Everywhere, and the first G is upside down. That's fine, you'll still get it. I actually have a buddy who collects beer koozies. He has literally hundreds of them, and whenever I'm traveling and I see one, I usually grab it for him, but sorry dude, this one's staying with me. You ever heard of the concept of Minnesota nice? It's the idea that Minnesotans go out of their way to be friendly and courteous, and no place is that exemplified more than Mr. Little Guy. See this door in the tree? Well, that is where an elf named Tom lives, and for over 20 years, people, children mostly, have been putting letters in there and getting responses from Tom the elf. I mean, think about that. Over 20 years, this guy's been answering letters from strangers. That's Minnesota really nice. And of course, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't write Tom a letter of my own. Dear Tom, hi, I hope you are well. I'm a visitor to Minneapolis and was delighted to hear about your home in this tree. And I'm especially happy that it's free. Do you ever travel? Also, do squirrels ever try to get into your tree home? I hope to hear back from you, George. In a city known for lakes, these are some of the only caves in town. These are the Wabasha Street Caves. It's a former mine that was also a speakeasy back during Prohibition, and apparently John Dillinger used to hang out here, so it's got a pretty sordid history. Pretty nifty, actually. I wouldn't mind coming to a party in here. It went from a silica mine to a mushroom cave to a speakeasy to a nightclub to a disco to a pizza place to a garbage dump and now finally to an event space. So quite the arc for this place. But we're gonna go into the unfinished cave and it's supposedly gonna drop by like 15, 20 degrees once we go in there. Oh yeah, definitely dropped by like 20 degrees when you walked in here. So they say this place is not on the National Historic Registry places, but it is on the most haunted places in America list. Apparently, they're not entirely sure what's beneath these floors. There could be some things you don't want to find. So I stumbled across this place called Hot Sam's Photo Park. It's several acres of assorted oddities and artwork, like a giant rooster. But that's not the best news. The best news is they gave me a golf cart to drive around on. I mean, seriously, how can you not have a smile on your face when you're driving a golf cart? Now, despite how cool it looks, they stress that it's not an amusement park, that it's very rugged terrain, we're in nature, and that you enter at your own risk. And anytime someone tells me that I enter at my own risk, that's usually a pretty good sign. Now, this place is free to come enter, but if you want to take pictures, it costs you $15. But really, it's worth it because this place is all about the Instagram. 1920s plane, they got that Instagram. Giant shark, they got that Instagram. Jurassic Park car, they got that Instagram. Free-range chickens, they got that Instagram. Police paddy wagon, army jeep, space shuttle, circus boxcar, you know they got all those Instagrams. Well, all right. Now I just gotta start using Instagram. All right, my stomach is making the rumblies. It's time for Juicy Lucy number 2 at Matt's Bar. Remember, this is the place that purposely spells it incorrectly and says that any place that does spell it correctly is a ripoff. So they're really throwing elbows in this fight. Oh man, this one has a real molten core. It is just all liquid cheese in the middle of there. Why is cheese in burgers not more popular? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but I've only ever seen it here in Minneapolis. And just like the last one, I'm gonna house this. So after eating both Juicy Lucy's, I can firmly state they are both burgers. Okay, yeah, I know I'm cheating, but come on, how can I answer that? They're both amazing. I can't choose which is the juicier Lucy. But really, must we choose? I mean, these are the Twin Cities. Can we have twin Juicy Lucy's? I think we can. Now I have one last thing I gotta do. I'm heading back to the door in the park. Gotta see if Mr. Little Guy has responded.
Dear George, how nice of you to write. Sorry I missed you. Welcome to Minneapolis. Yes, we travel, and next week we'll be traveling home. The squirrels are fine. It's the chipmunks you have to watch out for. Enjoy the coming fall, and remember, I believe in you.
Minnesota nice.